Hi everyone, thank you for coming to this session. We are Cloud Native Taiwan User Group, and my name is Hazel. The other speakers are one of our members. His name is Jane Guo, and he will share another experience about contributions to a Cloud Native Taiwan User Group. In this session, we are going to talk about the following topics. First, who are we? How we run the Cloud Native Taiwan User Group? How to join us? The ways for increasing the visibilities of communities, and common ways to give back to communities. The last one is our projects for cultivating talents. I will introduce our community one by one in order by this outline. And the last topic, contributing back, will be shared by my partner, Jane Guo. Let me introduce CNTUG at first. The picture above is National Taiwan University School of Social Science. At the beginning, our group members just want to share their experience to peers. Maybe the new projects they are developing or the new technicals that they are using. As time goes by, most of them graduated one by one and devoted their time to enterprise. The sharing contents turns into real cases in their work. So who are we? What are we talking about? Which is sharing cloud-related project experience. So what are cloud natives meanings? The specific projects are just like OpenStack, Kubernetes, Cloud Native Computing Foundations project, and etc. So we hold meetups every month, and in our meetups, you can just realize what is the new project we are using and what is the skill we used in our project. And you can just raise your questions and receiving answers during our meetup. The things we want to popularize are not only technical concepts and implementations, but also the philosophy of contributions. The meaning of contributions are not limited in code lines, tech talks, and those technical works. Your contributions can be implemented in multiple ways and styles. This is a website set up for letting people know what is Cloud Native Computing Foundations, and you can take a look on this landscape. This is what a Cloud Native related project. And you can see the Kubernetes on the scheduling and orchestration blocks, and database, streaming, and messaging. These projects are not only developed by those big companies, which means FANG or the big company like Netflix. There are also many projects developed by the third party or freelancers or free contributors. You can check the project of the categories you're really interested in and you really want to contribute it. If you are interested and you are really good at API design, you might want to check the API gateway categories. So it is a brief introduction about cloud native related projects. Let's cut into the base. This is our community operations. We host and launch meetings once a month and call for proposals several months ago. In general, we will discuss the topics and arrange agendas 2 to 3 weeks before meetups. There are about 40 events so far, and we listed topics and agendas on meetup.com. The decks and links are published to github.com for attendees to check. Due to COVID-19, all the meetups will hold online this year. We record the meetings and uploaded the recordings up to YouTube. in the end of 2020, we hold the end of the party at CC Workspace nearing Guti MRT stations. And thanks for the only one sponsorship by Red Hat. And the other ways to leverage the activities is to join the other community like COSCUP. COSCUP is the biggest open source community in Taiwan. And in this year, we are also the one of the vendors in COSCUP booth area. Maybe some of our members are famous for the technical skills, so when he starts talking about his life and his job experience, then the people were gathering in our booth. So you can see in the morning there are few people in our booth. As time goes by, the people gathered more and more, and the most of people join today's event gathered in our booth, and the booth turns into a mini clubhouse in Coast Cup. In the morning of second day, we invited Ben Jai as our speaker, one of our speakers, and he is famous for his entrepreneur experience. So he just started sharing his experience in the booth. The people just kept gathering in our booth. And this is experience sharing about how to join the other community, set up a booth for your community. It is a nice experience to communicate with the other communities. And also you can learn some skills or learn some experience from the other communities. So how to be an audience? You may want to learn how to ask questions in a smart way. You can check the reference below. It is the guideline to learn how to ask questions the right way. There are some examples in this guideline to teach you how to describe your question in a specific way, and that will make your question easy to respond. And if you want to ask about some technical questions, you need to attach the log and describe the environment you have. There are more examples in this guideline, and this guideline is also useful to your work life. And how to be a speaker. Just submit your proposal now. This is our code for proposal link. Click the link and you can submit your proposal from this Google Sheet. And if you have your phone by your side, scan the QR code on the right, and our members will connect you directly. They are not limited to technical content. You can just you can share your experience, your work, you can share your work experience, your concept, your point of view. It's all okay. There are many things for you to share. And the second one is if our speakers need, we will give some ideas about how to make your presentation and slides better. And the third one is we will give a big stage for our speakers. There are 4,000 members in our Epic groups. We have 500 subscribers in our YouTube channel. So all your content and your text will be published to this audience. So if you want to share any of your ideas or your experience, Cloud Native Taiwan User Group is a nice channel and nice stage for you to share. Next chapter, how to join us. The following links are the channels we have so far. The first one is Facebook groups. The member can post any idea or any articles they want to share. And the second one is Telegram. You can give and receive and messages into the Telegram channel. And the third one is Meetup. This is for our events publishing. You can subscribe Cloud Native Taiwan User Group's Meetups channel and you can receive the latest notification about events. The fourth is HackMD. HackMD is one of the famous collaborative writing tools in Taiwan. We use these tools for our collaborative meeting notes. Our members and audience can write down their thoughts and ideas during listening to the sessions. And also, our speakers can collaborate if they want. If they don't have time to interactive during the sessions, they can key in their responses and answers on HackMD. HackMD is a nice tool to interact with the audience. The fifth is GitHub, which pushed all information about Cloud Native Town user group like speaker stacks and the events information to the GitHub. And also we set up our website from GitHub page. And the last one is call for proposal. If you want to join us and also popularize your ideas, this is the most efficient way to join us. There are so many communities. So why do you join Cloud Native Town user group? The first thing is we are all kind to sharing our knowledge and the experience so you can get the latest information about Cloud Native. Second, all of our members are passionate to community contributions. If you want to know how to run a community from 0 to 1, this is one of the best places for you. And the last reason you have to join us is we are the only one official sub-community of Cloud Native Computing Foundation in Taiwan. So if you want to get the formal and correct information, please join us. So after you join us, what you need to do, you can help us to hold meetups. You can interact it with our speakers and audience. You can help us to publish the event information. Also, after the meetups, you can help us to edit and upload it speakers' content and stacks like videos or slides to our social medias. And the last one is be a speaker yourself. Remember that the more you share and the more you will gain. In the next chapter, I will share how did we expand our community from 0 to here. And after communicating with Cloud Native Computing Foundation for a long time, eventually we've been admitted as one of the official CNCF community in Taiwan. If you are also one of a community operators, getting approved from a credible organization helps your community accumulate members better and faster. Birds of a feather flock together. And you are also responsible for ensuring the correctness and quality of those contents shared in your community. Okay, at the end, let me deliver my sincere thanks here. Our members are all passionate and willing to give their opinion during discussion. Also, from 2017, they come to the event rain or shine. All kinds of accumulation help the community works better and reduce the learning curve for beginners who want to enter this industry. The next chapter, we will share In next chapter, we will share 3 ways to give back to communities. Those ways are not limited to Cloud Native Taiwan user group, but also applicable to the other open source communities. Let's welcome Jean.
Thank you, Hazel, for her introduction to Cloud Native Tower User Group. And my name is Jingo, and I'm also one of the co-organizers in Cloud Native Tower User Group. And in the next section, I'll talk about how to contribute back to the community and some of the projects that we are currently working on in Cloud Native Tower User Group. Yeah, so when joining a community, I think it is also very important to be able to contribute back. And there are actually three very easy ways that you can contribute back to the community itself. So the first one will be a donation. The second one will be becoming a speaker. And the third one will be joining as co-organizer. So let's start with a donation. So not many people know that running a community actually needs money. It doesn't need a lot, but it still needs some. For example, we need to spend money on event venues to be able to hold our monthly events. Sometimes we have to support a speaker for their travel fee, even though it's like a very short distance. It's better for us to support the speaker travel fee to encourage more speakers to come to speak. And next, we provide swags for speakers and members who ask good question during the event, so that it works as encouragement for the members to come to speak and to ask good questions. So donation will help community runs longer, as we need money for every monthly events to be able to continue to help them. And for donation, we currently collaborate with Open Culture Foundation in Taiwan, which I will introduce later in the project section. And the collaboration is to ensure that all donations will be used in the right place, and the Open Culture Foundation will help us to manage all the money and provide a list of how we spend the money, so that the donators can always know that where the donations are useful. And also, as you can see in the OpenInfra Day Asia homepage, you can find that we are also gold sponsors of this event. So this is our efforts to contribute back even to the global community. So the next great way to contribute back to the community will be becoming a speaker. So as a community member, when you join monthly events, when you discuss on our social medias, you can always learn from the community, from the speaker that's for in the event that you join. So while you learn from the community itself, it would be very good if you can also let the community or the other members learn from you. So I encourage everyone to become a speaker, and I think this is a best way to contribute back to the community is by sharing your knowledge. And also, don't be afraid that your talk is very easy or it's just a one-on-one talk. There's always new members or people who don't know those new technologies that need introduction talks. So don't be afraid to speak out. Just register as a speaker in Nativetown user group. So last way to contribute back to the community is actually joining as a co-organizer. So we currently have around 15 to 20 co-organizers in Nativetown user group. Half of us are mainly active in doing the actual work, and half of us are more like a support role that provide advice. So here are some of the tasks that co-organizer regularly do. So the first one is very important and is one of the hardest things we found to do as a co-organizer is actually to find speakers. So we found out that people in Taiwan is actually very shy to come out and talk about what they've learned, what they found interesting. So this is a very important task for as a co-organizer. The next one obviously will be arranging those monthly events. Things such as finding venues, contacting speakers, or on online events, help streaming those events to YouTube or recording the videos. So those are the stuff that we are doing during the monthly events. And after monthly events, we have to collect slides from the speaker, and then we can upload them to our Github so that newcomers can come and they can review that the older slides for the talk we already have. So next one will be promoting the community. So we always want new people to join to learn more about infrastructure and cloud native stuff. So we are actively promoting our community through different methods. And last one will be manage discussion in social medias, such as we have to set our group rules. We have to delete the posts or messages that violate the rules to make sure that our community is a great place for people to discuss technologies. Yeah, so those are the stuff that we think are a good way for people to contribute back. And next, we are going to talk about the projects that we are currently working on. Yeah, so the first project is Cloud Native Tower User Group Infra Labs. So this is a project that we are just currently planning and just started. So it is started and funded by a few co-organizers. So and it's what it do is it can provide infrastructure for free for these potential speakers or students who want to test out open source software such as OpenStack, Kubernetes, or the other open source softwares. Or it can also provide VMs, networking for workshops or events that require some computing powers. Or it can also act as an infrastructure for websites or communication tools such as Mattermost or Jitsi Meet for all the open source communities. And what we aim to is to cultivate the next generation of OpenInfra and cloud native people with this project. So we are currently still in planning stage, and we plan to locate the lab in one of the locations in Tokyo, and the service will be provided based on OpenStack with CFS storage backend with basically all the OpenStack services. Most of the OpenStack services that people use, like virtual machines, storages, networking, DNS, and load balancers. And the next project will be a collaboration with OCF, which is Open Control Foundation, as I mentioned earlier. So Open Control Foundation, you can find their website at ocf.tw, which is a foundation that promotes free opens in Taiwan, which is open source, open data, and open government. So we collaborate with them as one of Open, which is an open source community. And what they provide us is financial support, as we talked about earlier, that all of our donations are managed by OCF to make sure that the money are used in a correct way. And one of the new projects that we are currently collaborating with OCF is have an intern in open source community. So OCF there, they will find interns, and then they will ask us if we have projects or ideas for intern to work on, so that the intern can actually work on real stuff in the open source community itself. I think it's a very good way for community to find new members and actually promote the technologies that our community are working on to students. And yeah, so this is all. Yeah, so this is all of the projects that we currently are working on. I hope you find it interesting. And that's all about my part. And we can move into the Q&A section. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Me and Hazel will be online to answer your question. And also, thank you very much for joining